today's video, I'm going to share with you how can you conduct a proper interview to hire a talent for your business if you're an online service provider. Now, this video is not going to look all fancy and all cute. It's going to be boring. And if you're looking for a highly edited video, go to the next one because this isn't for you. But if you're serious about scaling your business with the right team members and knowing how to hire the best talent, go ahead and give this a watch. I promise this is going to change your life. So I like to keep the interview process very simple. And as someone who has hired over 70 different team members for my own business where we help other health professionals in scaling their businesses, even for our students' businesses and practices, there is a pattern. And if you ask the right questions, you're going to know if somebody's going to be the right fit for your team or not. So the way I like to start the interview, basically it's kind of like a sales call in a sense, but you're watching for different cues, seeing how they're interacting, how are they dressing up and showing up to the call. If they come up with a tank top with their hair all over the place, if they're not being professional, then it is likely that that same behavior is going to get translated to their work. So their posture, how they're sitting, how they're looking, if they're professional enough or not, is all different markers that I'm looking and gauging at during an interview process. And their manners and the way of speaking. Are they using professional language or not so much? Because the person that you want to hire is going to be a reflection of you. Now, let's say you have an offer where you're like, I want to bust all sorts of bullshit in my industry and my niche, and the way I talk is very loose, and I don't care about having any like politeness or polite manners or anything like that. Like, whoever you are, you want to make sure that the person you're hiring can represent yourself properly, the offer that you have in the niche that you're in. So it doesn't mean that everybody is a cookie cutter situation, everybody has to look exactly the same, but it means that just see if the person that you're interviewing is vibing with you. So what I like to ask them is, why do you want this job? Why are they looking to move away from whatever it is that they're doing? And throughout the whole interview process, you want to maintain a healthy dose of skepticism. That means you want to be watching out for any potential red flags that they're saying. When they talk about, before all that, I ask them, like, tell me a little bit about yourself, your experience, and what makes you want this job. After that, why are they moving away from the current job that they're having? And that just gives you some background info on why are they even interested in the role that they're in. Typically, I've hired for sales positions before, a setter position, appointment setting position, closing, enrolling positions, content assistants, executive assistants. So it doesn't matter. These interview questions will work the same way. When they have gone ahead and answered that, the next question you want to ask is, what did you not like about the last job that you were working at? And basically, you want to see what they're talking about. Are they more of a team player? Are they complaining? Are they keeping it professional? Was that something about the environment? Was it something about the people? You want to see how they're talking about that company and place in general, because if they do transition out of your place, that is likely how they're going to talk about you as well. But not only that, you want to see what sort of a technical issue was it that made them want to move away. Then the other question that I like to ask is, well, we are in a space where we're all working remotely. Typically, the positions that I'm hiring are ambitious positions, meaning that they can definitely be starting their own business. So I ask, like, why not start your own company? And this is where I want to see what they answer. Sometimes I like to say, well, I do like to start my company maybe a few years from now, or I'm here to learn and experience and basically see where it takes me. This is where you want to know whether or not they're going to be a good team player or not, or whether they're just going to stay, learn, and quickly jump out as soon as they've got a little or minimum amounts of experience that they gain from you. So as a result, the next question that I like to ask is, do you consider yourself more as an entrepreneur or more of an entrepreneur? And some people know the answer, like they know what an entrepreneur is. Others are like, what is an entrepreneur? That in itself shows you that they haven't been in the space long enough, but you can go ahead and explain to them that an entrepreneur is someone who can be within a company yet treats it as their own position that they have, because obviously you're going to be making your own money. So they, although it's somebody else's business, they feel like it is their own business too, and that they can grow and flourish within a company. An entrepreneur is somebody that likes to start their own business, start their own company. So you're going to get an answer in there. You're going to get people who are like, oh, I'm definitely an entrepreneur. I have a very entrepreneurial mind ever since I was a kid. And it's okay if they're an entrepreneur. You want to see, will they be a team player? Will they be a good asset for your company or not? And if they're an entrepreneur, then that's a golden answer. Like, they are going to care enough to be with you, yet treat it like their own place. And as an employer and as the CEO, as an employer, you want to make sure that you yourself yourself create that culture for them, to where every team member of yours that comes in, they feel like, wow, there is an opportunity to grow. It's not like I'm going to be stuck in this role forever, and that my future will be bright by helping this company scale. It's going to benefit myself and the business owner and all the other team members that are within it. So yes, hiring talent is about hiring the right talent, but it's also about you. How do you cultivate the talent? Because a lot of people are talented, but put in the wrong space, wrong situation, they can definitely butcher a job. So yes, 50% of it is hiring the right person. The other 50% is you having the skill set as a business owner to make sure that they are flourishing into their role. And what I like to ask next is, if you weren't hired here, what would you do instead? And I want to see, are they kind of a go-getter? Are they going to be looking for opportunities? What type of a personality do they have? Are they proactive? Are they more passive? Are they kind of aggressive? Because as I said, all those elements that you're gathering within a call is going to show you, are they the right people to be representing you or not? Sometimes I ask that question, sometimes I don't, but there's another question that I definitely ask. And the next question is, full transparency, we're looking for someone that can stay with us for a minimum 1 year before jumping ship to another company or starting their own business. Why do you think you'd stay at least a year as opposed to doing what I just said? And you basically want to see what they're saying. The answers that I received, I have been looking for the perfect opportunity. Like, this is the one that really resonates with me and I see myself working here long term. Other times I hear answers like, well, I don't know, like I'm really looking for something that is gonna be supporting me financially. And that is where, like, if they're unsure about their answer, you know that they're more likely to be flimsy and flake and basically jump out as soon as shit hits the fan or as soon as something happens. They're not really gonna be staying with you. But you're gonna be also having those people that are like, you know, that's not gonna be a problem with me, because everywhere else that I've worked, I've been working there at that place for a longer period of time before I transitioned into a different role. So you kind of want to see, are they going to be with you or not necessarily? Because there's so much of a hassle when you train someone, when you pour a lot of resources to them only for them to jump out after a few hours or even a few days or a couple of weeks. You want to make sure that the people that you're hiring and putting your energy, resources, time, which is money, into them is going to be a good return on your own personal investment. Next typical question that I ask is, in 5 to 10 years, where do you think you're at? And it's basically a question to gauge, where is their mindset? Like, do they have some goals in their mind? Are they a planner? Are they not? Are they just basically winging life? Or do they have a vision, a why that's going to keep them going? Like, I know as entrepreneurs, we have a why on why are we even doing all this? Why did we start it? But it's also important for your team members to have a why as well, so that together you can flourish. And the next most important question is that every single time, almost like 90% of the time, people tell me like, I've never heard of this question before. And it's the most important question for me is, I will not take no for an answer for this. So take a minute to think about it, but tell me, why should I not hire you? And I basically pause and I let them think. They all get a little bit shocked. And this is where I'm looking for genuine answers. Like, you get those people who are trying to be people pleasers and they're like, well, if you don't want your company to grow, don't hire me. Like, that's an immediate red flag, immediate turn off for me. And I'm like, no. Like, and sometimes when I feel like it, I tell them that, look, I'm not looking for a bullshit answer. I'm not looking for a cheesy answer. I'm looking for a genuine answer here. This is not going to disqualify you. It's only going to show me how can I work with you, whatever your weaknesses are. So that is how I gauge that conversation. If they try to give me like a cheesy answer like that, other times if I totally absolutely hate it when they say that, then I'm like, that's it. Like, this is not going to be a right fit for them. If they're actually vulnerable with you and they're like, yeah, listen, I have a lot of great traits. I can do this, and this. However, my time management has been an issue, which I'm trying to work on. So you should not hire me if you see somebody that has a bit of a time management issue to be a problem. But as I said, I am working on it. Or they may say something like, I just got into this field, into this position, and I'm a complete newbie. So you should not hire me if you're looking for someone that's experienced. This is where I want true answers. And the more vulnerable and genuine that they are, the more they're technically qualified for that job. So it's not meant to disqualify them in any way. If anything, I am basically testing their personality even more through asking those questions. Then we go into the logistics of things. So I tell them, what are your availabilities? This is like our business hours. Can you commit to these hours? If it's a part-time role, give them the time frame that you want. You don't necessarily want to say, yeah, what time are you available? Like, I've had some of our students do that too. Like, hey, yeah, we're hiring for this role, so when are you available? No, No, you're the business owner. You're the person in authority position. So you tell them what you need, and they have a right to say like, yes, I can commit to it, or no, I can't. When you have gone over availabilities, then go ahead and tell them, okay, we have a no side hustle policy. Is that going to be an issue? This is where, because we want to really grow the company together, we do not allow anyone to have any side hustles, as we find it to be a bit of a distraction and it hinders the growth. Now, sometimes, like within our own contract, we do tell our team members that even if you want to have a side hustle, you got to let us know 4 weeks in advance, and we got to make sure that it's not going to interfere with your main work in any way. But typically, even in our own businesses, we do not allow side hustles unless if it's like a rare situation of some sort. And next up, I tell them like for the next 2 years, you cannot become a business to business, or if you are a business to consumer competitor of ours. Is that going to be a problem? And that is where you want to stay protected. Like you will have some people that come in, learn your skill set, they ship out, and they do exactly what you're doing, and you wouldn't want that to happen to you. So we are very clear in our contracts and in our NDA as far as what they can and cannot do if they decide to transition out. So you mentioned that on the interview so they know that this is the foundation. Like they cannot just come in and go, and they cannot become a direct competitor of ours. Then this is where you just go through the expectation of compensation, walk them through how their comp's going to look like, and start date if you're interested, if you want to hire them. Now, if you are kind of unsure and you want to test the waters even more, I have another way of seeing how their personality is. I put them through a rejection test. So I tell them, well, thank you so much for your time. I think we'll be taking this in a different direction. What are your next steps? And this is where if they start to basically take it as a fact, that is passive. Like you don't even need that team member to begin with. They might as well go. This is where if they start to like complain or be negative in any way, again, major red flag. You do not want that person to be coming into your company. Or lastly, if they're humble, or if they ask for feedback, or if they try to sell us on hiring them, that is a green flag. That is the type of person that you want to hire within your business. That shows that they actually want the job and they're actually going to care. So I hope all those points was helpful for you to make a decision as a business owner when it comes to hiring the right team member for your business. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it down below in the comment section, and I'm more than happy to answer them. Bye for now.